Hey guys, happy Monday. How is everyone doing? So this is the second actual Monday morning coffee talk. So it's crazy. Thanks so much for, waking up with me. We'll go right to the camera so you can see what we're brewing today. This is actually a recommendation of the actual someone that watches the show. So I know this isn't what it's called, but see, I'm gonna call it Cafe de Monde. But I know that's not what it's called. But anyways, I did it in my French press, and we're gonna have it in the let's see if you guys can see that. It's in the Death Wish coffee cup. I love Death Wish coffee. See, I can't even speak because I haven't had the coffee yet. So let's get this coffee and get this party started. But I'm not always late. All right, I'm not always late. You guys, well, most of the time. So anyways, oh gosh, the coffee's good. So how's everyone doing this morning? Is everyone doing pretty well? Is everyone happy about Mondays? See, I don't really love Mondays, I'll be honest. So Sunday, yeah, I got it in the French press Cafe de Monde. Is it de Monde? See, I'm not French. I think it's here. We'll go back to the can really quick. I'm Italian. I don't know. Plus, I'm American, so we butcher everything. Italian American. There we go. So I would say this as Cafe de Monde, but it's not. It's probably like Cafe de Monde or something. I don't know. I don't know how you say that. Anyways, I wish I did. I feel bad because it's probably offensive to people, but I kind of tend to do that sometimes. Anyways. All right, yeah, the reason why I don't like Mondays is typically this, right? So, well, especially this week. So this week I got a bunch of stuff to do for work, and there was stuff I was supposed to do over the weekend, and I just wasn't going to do it. Like, have you guys ever had work that you had to do over the weekend? And it was just, you're like, this is my weekend. It's my time. Like, I don't get enough time as it is. Like, none of us get enough time as it is. And it's like, no, that's my weekend. Like, I'm not doing it. So I'm going to cram this morning after this to get it done. But I wanted to show you guys something. So Stringer Films, who watches the channel quite a bit, good friend as well of the show and just in general, he's a good friend. And so I don't know if you guys saw this the other day, but when we were on the show, we showcased this thing. Actually, I didn't know Justin was going to do it, to be honest. But there's this. Oh, that's not what I wanted to show. That's our numbers. That's me. No. It was it was basically this kit that was made. Someone in the community made this, and they're selling it. And it's basically a replacements kit. It's like a leftovers kit. So you can take your leftover Arcade 1-Up parts from modding and things like that, and you can create your own. You create your own sort of bar top from it. It's pretty neat. It's a pretty cool thing. And I was describing it last night on the show, and Stringer made a little video because he's like, oh, it reminds me of this scene in Tommy Boy. Oh, it's Demos? No, shut up. Oh my God, see how stupid I am in the morning? Dumas, he's talking about dumbass. Nice. Stringer, thanks for the super chat. But here it is. Let's see how dumb I am sometimes. All right, here we go. Check this out.
Awesome. I think it's really cool.
This is great.
You could paint it.
You can put 6 packs of soda in here.
You can make it all black if you wanted to do that.
You can put milk.
Or you can seal it.
You can put yogurt.
Or you could put some edge molding on it.
You can put candy bars in the freezer.
Or you could have artwork made for it.
Anything that you want to keep cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. Do you guys not love that? So I'll give a second to get the reaction to that video, but seriously, I almost want to play it again. It cracked me up so bad. So I got to start my day from that video from Stringer Films, and I was like dying laughing. I'm like, dude, that was seriously awesome. I kind of want to play it one more time. Would you guys care if I played it just one more time? Seriously, because it was so good. I got to play it again. I'm playing it one more time. I'm sorry. It's just too good. All right, here it is.
Awesome.
I think it's really cool.
This is great.
You could paint it.
You can put 6 packs of soda in here.
You can make it all black if you wanted to do that.
You can put milk.
Or you can seal it.
You can put yogurt.
Or you could put some edge molding on it.
You can put candy bars in the freezer.
Or you could have artwork made for it.
Anything that you want to keep cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. Anything that you want to keep cool. So anyways, that's awesome. So thanks Stringer Films for doing that, and thanks so much for the super chat. So someone asked who did that. So it was Stringer Films. You probably, if you watch the show, if you watch anything, if you watch Retro Ralph or 1-Up Weekly, he's on all the time. He's a huge supporter of the show, so it's pretty awesome. But I was dying laughing when I saw that. So there was a couple things that I had asked you guys what you might want to talk about this morning and things like that. And one of the things that came up was this thing that maybe you guys don't know. It's not really a big deal. I don't even want to really make a big deal out of it, but someone asked, so I figured I told you this show we could talk about whatever we want. But someone asked about the Supreme Team message. So there was like I think they deleted it already, but it was a message from the Supreme Team saying we just want to make a correction that Retro Ralph was not the first person to show. Oh, I don't even care. I don't even remember what it was. Oh, it was the Retro Ralph is not the first person to ever show attract mode on a Retro Pi 4. And I was like, I don't even really do Pi stuff, so I don't know where that came from or why people were even saying that or why they needed to feel the need to correct it. But they did. They sent some message out, and then I kind of messaged back and forth with one of the guys in the Supreme Team, and I'm like, I don't even know what this is about. So it's one of those things where I've never like made a video saying I was first to do the, I don't even know what it is. Oh, attract mode. I was first to do attract mode. I was like, I don't care. So anyways, the only thing I can think of, the only reason why maybe this came to light is that I worked with a guy, Chase Cobb, who he has a company called 8-Bit Roots, and we did a video on a Pi build that he compiled. This was like early on, probably before the dual screen support was there, I think. And it had that, but I never made any references of being first or caring. As a matter of fact, in the video, I actually say this image is from Chase Cobb, so I don't even know what they're talking about. The Supreme Team is a team that does Pi builds, so it was just weird. It was a weird thing, but someone asked about it, so I figured I'd bring it up. And then another person asked me about the Intellivision Amico. They said, what do I think about the Intellivision Amico? So the one thing I did find out is that, unfortunately, the date for the availability of that is gonna slip. So it was supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be October 10th or something like that. So it's kind of a sad story because it's Tommy Tellerico's sister, I think, passed away, and it was like that day or something like that. I don't remember the full story, but it's kind of sad. And he wanted to put it out on that day to kind of honor her, and he said he would do that. But I think he obviously wishes he could do that still, but I think with coronavirus and stuff like that, he just can't meet that date. So the new date for launch is 4/15/21, I think, for the Intellivision Amico. I'm kind of excited about it. It's sort of a console that really is focused on bringing the family together to play games. So it's all family friendly. All the games are rated E for everyone. So it's really cool. It's just really cool. I love it. Stringer Film says YouTubers should focus more on attracting viewers. Exactly. It was a weird thing, and you asked, so I figured I'd answer it. I'm not limiting the conversation to really anything in particular. So I did want to just check something really quick because you guys had asked a couple more questions. So I just want to pull them up really quick just to make sure I can answer the ones that you had. But if there's anything by any means you want to talk about, just put it in the chat and we'll talk about it. This is like a show that really doesn't have any agenda. It's just kind of us getting together on a Monday morning before we have to go through to actual work, which I know we all are super excited to do on a Monday morning. So I'm going to look really fast and see what other questions were in there. So it says, movie note, Ralph, I know you love Rad. It is now on Apple TV. Yeah, so Arcade Eric said the movie Rad was out. So I think isn't Rad available on, this is unfortunate though. I think there was a 4K Ultra HD version of it. And I think I think it's like limited. And now if you go on like Amazon and try to buy it, it's like hundreds of dollars. So I don't know if that's actually true. I thought that was true. So if anyone wants to validate that, that'd be awesome. Oh yeah. So Dreamcast Kyle was asking about my VR live stream. So I am going to do some VR. I'm going to do pinball VR. So it was super fun. I was playing with it a couple weeks back. I just wanted to give it a try because I've had VR stuff for a long time. Oh yeah, I have the 4K disc. Yeah, so that sucks. Yeah, so Super Dimensional was saying he has the 4K disc. It was a super limited release, but I think they released it on 4K on Facebook. I'm going back to Rad, by the way. So yeah, I am going to do that. So let's see what other questions were in here. Oh, Dreamcast Kyle had asked what are my favorite platforming games. So it's weird. It's weird. It's not that I don't love platforming games. Like obviously love all the Mario stuff, but I don't know. Would Crash Bandicoot would be considered a platformer? I think if I looked back at like retro platformers, I think that's really fun. I love Castlevania, but I suck at it so bad. I'm just really, really bad at it. Mega Man's great. Not good at those either. So So I don't know, maybe I could play one of those with like the rewind features if you guys wouldn't get annoyed, but I love Castlevania. It's awesome, but it's one of those things where I'm not that great at it. New in television console is going to be anything? I don't know. I don't understand the question on that. Yeah, so the VR pinball, it's been out for a while. But who was the first to have the 4K disc? I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, so the VR stuff's been out for a while. So Zen Studios created FX2 an FX2 VR package for the Sony PlayStation VR. I think it's out on other platforms too. I'm sure it's on Steam and stuff like that. It's really cool. So I played one game so far and I was like really hooked on it. Oh, Rygar's great too. So I played I played you guys are going to laugh at this. I almost wanted to publish the video. So check this out. So imagine you're standing in front of Jaws. So if you've played the FX3 Jaws game, it's that game but in VR. And when you're playing it, like you put on your gear, right? So you got your goggles on or whatever you call the headset. So you got the headset on. You don't necessarily have anything in your hands. You have your controller in your hands, but you step in front of the table, and it does, the way it aligns the table, it does put it in a place that makes it seem like it would be about waist high. So it's like, it feels like you're really in front of the pinball table. But because it's Jaws, you're surrounded by water. So like if you look around, you're kind of like on a dock. So the like pinball machine's sort of like on this dock, or at least it appears to be on a dock, and there's a guy in the distance and he's on the dock, and you have to keep hitting the pinball there to get him to fall into the water. And you're like, oh, cool, he fell in the water. And then the thing that scared the shit out of me is then when he falls in the water, you hear like, darn it. And I'm like, what the hell? And you look over and the shark like jumps out of the water on the side of you. And I was like, holy shit, because it was like right there. And it's really cool. It's really cool. So Mike in the chat was saying Visual Pinball X has VR too. I've never explored that, but maybe I'll give it a shot sometime. How to Bachelor has a super chat in here. He said, best Monday morning. Keep doing this broski? Maybe it's supposed to be broski. I don't know. How to Bachelor is younger than me. He says cooler stuff than me. Plus, he was in the military, so they probably say a bunch of cool things that I don't understand. But which again, I say it every time. But thank you for your service. It's much appreciated. I know everyone here would echo that. All right, sorry, I got to take that coffee. So I'm gonna look at the chat again just to see, not the chat, but there's the question about the Intellivision Amico. So we talked about that. Chris, who actually recommended the coffee, right? So this coffee brand right here that we're drinking today, Cafe de Monde. Sorry,
it's really cool.
Should play this again. He asked, how am I dealing with, and a lot of you guys probably, he said, are you growing tired of the virtual world since your fun life and your personal life are in the same place these days? And that's really true. So for me in my job, I used to travel a lot for my work. What's really weird is that, I don't know if you guys, I've talked about this before, how I'm like a competitive person. And I lead a team of analysts so I'm a manager for a team of analysts who looks at basically the company, the products we sell. They look at all the other companies in that space, and we try to make sure that we understand, number one, what competitive strategies they're using against us, and then understanding what they're doing in the marketplace to be able to change our product accordingly. Maybe not change, but if we had a path we were going down and it maybe wasn't the right path because the market dictated something else, we would try to not pivot, but we would try to make sure that we're on the right path to be as competitive as we can in the market. So it's an interesting job because I kind of view when I'm, and maybe you guys have caught this, but I look at all these arcade companies and I think about it like I do my job, and I'm like, this makes no business sense. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. And this isn't a dig. It's just how I feel about it. It is literally how I feel. It's, and I know there's going to be people that say I don't like ACT games, so that's why I'm saying it. But I don't legitimately like them, so that is true. But, it doesn't make sense to me that you'd have a product, right? That you have so if you guys don't have the product, it's basically, it's a multi arcade, right? So it plays all different games. It has 350 games built in. And it has a web front end called ArcadeNet. It's like a place you can go where they offer games. that's really cool, but the games are all free right now, right? So there's no incentive for me as a consumer to go, oh, I'm gonna buy this because it's free. So you're like, cool, you're gonna give me free games, so you're gonna give me free games. I'm not gonna pay you anything if you're gonna give me free games. So to me, what would have been a smart business move would have been for them to keep adding games, like get more licensed games and put them in ArcadeNet, and let me pay a subscription to either let me pay a subscription to get access to those games, or let me buy them a la carte like the IA Arcade is doing. But they didn't do that. So, like, to me, that's a weird business move because these companies need to continue to make money. Otherwise, it won't be successful. So then to double down on this idea, they go and provide an open platform for you to add your own games for free. So if they provide games for free, and then they're giving you a means to add your own games for free, not legally, by the way, then why the hell, like, to me, that's a really dumb business move. Like, if you're just looking at it from a business perspective. So if I was doing competitive analysis on that, I'd say that seems really stupid. Like, there's no other way for me to put it. That's really dumb. It's not helping the company make money to continue to make products. So it's just weird. So anyways, I look at when people say I'm being critical, I just look at it like I would my own job. I'm like looking at the competition going, well, that's weird. Why would they do that? And I know, it is about fun, but at the end of the day, these companies wouldn't exist if they weren't making money. So I just feel like that's a really weird business move to keep offering things for free, and let's not get into the legalities. I'm okay. That is what it is. It's the gray area of retro gaming, but that's just weird. But anyway, enough about that. So we got Peter Giffen, Electric Drums. Thank you for the super chat. He says, buddy, have you ever attempted to take out the circuit board of a Street Fighter sit-down coffee cab and put it in a normal stand-up? Will this work? It won't work because, well, actually, I shouldn't say it won't work. It wouldn't work on the older monitors. It would probably work on the other monitors, but keep in mind that on the newer monitors, but keep in mind that's made to be a vertical build. So it would be weird if you put that in an upright cabinet and it did work, because it's going to want to position the gameplay straight up like that. So you'd end up with like a Street Fighter that's facing you and a Street Fighter that's flipped to face the player too. So that I have not tried it, but I'd be careful because certain monitors, the pinouts have changed between the Wave 1 ones and the later version cabinets. And if you connect it wrong, you can actually damage the monitor. So just be careful on that. You don't want to do that. So there was another super chat by Bad Karma. I said, what's up here? A tad late, but I made it. Yeah, we're just doing this. So it's every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific. And what I'm going to do is we just do this chat. It's just a chat. We just talk about whatever. So Michael B, the Game Genie, thanks for joining. He has a great YouTube channel. Check him out if you get a chance. Some people are nuts about not emulating / stealing old ROMs. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, right? To put it into perspective, some people are like, well, look, you can't actually go and buy some of these things. So I had a conversation the other day with someone where they're like, look, if let's just say that the virtual console or whatever it's called on the Switch didn't exist for NES. If someone created a bar top Nintendo system or whatever it is that you could buy any NES game a la carte for like $1 or something or whatever, like, I think people out of convenience would buy that. Like, I don't think most of the community would be fine buying things. It's just a lot of these games, there's no access to buy them. So like your only choice if you want to play them or preserve that experience is to actually play them under emulation. So it's a weird gray area that, that sometimes comes up and sometimes doesn't. But, we all play in that area to some degree, but it's not meant out of like ill intent. None of us are going, we're going to steal from this company. It's more like, hey, we don't have access to the games and we want to enjoy them. So it's just one of those things. It is the weird gray area that a lot of people don't talk about, though, unfortunately. And it is what it is. But I appreciate that. Michael B, the Game Genie, it's a really good point. So Jonathan, thanks for the super chat. He says, is there a dual screen vertical pinball build license, of course, that's as easy as CoinOps to set up? No, there isn't. So there really isn't. That'd be really awesome if someone created something like that. Well, actually, no, I take that back. There is. So what am I thinking? So Zen Pinball FX3 under Steam has cabinet mode, and cabinet mode does support multiple screens. And I haven't looked into this lately. Maybe Mike can keep me honest on this because he's a big pinball guy. There's I think Pinball Arcade has a version. It's called something like Arcadia or something. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a specific version where they can support multiple screens too. Pinball Arcade isn't something I've really played with as a solo piece of software much outside of like using it in Android and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure. But yes, absolutely. If you want to do any of the FX3 stuff, you basically what you do is I want to make sure I keep track of these super chats, and we got to keep to the time because I have to get working and make sure my kids are up for school and everything. They started school already. The cabinet mode is actually something where when you buy FX3 and Steam and you buy the games, you basically send an email to Zen Studios. You take a picture of whatever you're going to run this on, and then they send you back the cabinet code. So it's a little bit of a pain because they take a little while to send the cabinet code back in my experience. But yeah, it definitely supports. You can support a backglass, the DMD. Those of you who don't know, it's that dot matrix display that would typically be on a pinball machine, and your playfield. So it's pretty cool. Thank you for the super chat, Jonathan. It's a great question. Chris, who recommended the coffee, he said, "What's your coffee impressions?" I love the coffee. I'm gonna see if I can get. There's a. Let me see if I get the camera back on. So that was it. I was calling it, Chris. I was calling it Cafe de Monde, but I know it's not that. I was just trying to be funny. But yeah, I brewed it in the French press. It's pretty strong actually, but maybe that's because of how I made it. I made it super strong. All right, let's see what else is going on in the chat. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on the chat. I know you kind of mentioned it quick on the 1UP Weekly. Do you think Arcade 1UP will do a multi-cab down the road? I don't know, guy. I don't know, man. It's tough because I think they're all about, making sure that Monde, yeah, it'd be like de Monde, right? Is it Cafe de Monde? I don't know. I'm Italian. I can't pronounce anything. Well, I'm Italian and I'm American, so there you go. Yeah, I'm not like from Italy. So yeah, I was born here in the United States. What the hell? What was I talking about? Oh, do I think they'll make a multicade? I don't know. Right now, I'd say no, because they're having a lot of success with, making sure publishers, it's licensed, they're being rewarded, the artwork, they're focusing on the licensed artwork, the licensed ROMs and things like that. So I don't see them doing it now, but maybe they will. Maybe they will at some point. I was thinking how cool it would be. Like, I think this would be neat. What if Arcade 1UP decided to release a console, and their console had the ability to download for some price all the games in their catalog? So like you could buy, like, it's for someone that doesn't have space for a cabinet or doesn't want an arcade cabinet. You go, I don't want it. They could make like an Arcade 1UP retro console, and the console would have the ability to buy any of the games in the catalog for some price. Why I think that'd be cool is the publishers would be stoked because it'd be like, oh, well, someone could buy the cabinet or they could buy the console. I don't know. I don't know if all those vendors would agree, or all those companies would agree to do something like that. But I think it'd be a neat thing. But I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do that or not. So someone said, we need your birth certificate. Are you American or Italian? I'm American. My parents were born, so my grandparents were born in Italy, but everyone else was born in the United States, and we grew up in Rhode Island. So pretty interesting place to grow up. It's like the smallest state. So Arizona Arcade Heroes is here. He's got a really cool channel, so go check him out when you get a chance. The other thing that's really neat is he has a really cool business where he does like birthday parties and events, and he has these crazy elaborate costumes that he wears, which are awesome. Michael B. the Game Genius said, how would you work the controls for the console? I don't know. It was just kind of like one of those weird ideas, but I don't know. They could come up with some way to do it, I guess. But, maybe it'd be an arcade stick or something. I don't know. Who knows? That would be hard because you'd have all different games with different configurations, but you'd have to come up with something creative. I don't know. My instant reaction is no, they won't do a multicade anytime soon. But if they did, maybe that would be something creative they could come up with. Who knows? I had thought about it before, and I'm like, could they possibly do something like that? Who knows? All right, so you can buy pretty much all the games 1UP has on PS4 consoles. Yeah, I mean, one of the best consoles, in my opinion, for retro at the time was, if you look at the PS2, there was a ton of those, like, arcade, midway. I can't remember. I have them all in the back in my little storage area right there. But it was like a ton of they released a like stack full. I mean, it's like so many discs of just retro arcade game, like the collections. So, and now they're on almost every console now, and some of them are available as downloadable content. So there's so much stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. I was just wondering, I wanted to ask you guys, is there anything coming up right now in gaming that you're super excited about? I know a lot of people are excited for Battletoads. I'm gonna be honest with you. I remember, I'm always honest with you, but I hate when I feel like when people say that, then it makes you feel like they're never honest with you when they say, I want to be honest with you. It's one of those weird, like, East Coast, I feel like it's embedded in you to say that. It's like, anyway, it was like, I don't know, my parents used to say, my stepfather used to say, let me be honest with you. Let me be honest with you. I'm like, he is an honest guy. But anyways, all right, enough. I'm going off on a tangent. See, this is why I can't do this, what I'm doing right now on One Up Weekly, because people will be like, what the heck? What was the question? I already forgot what the question was. What was I talking about? Oh, people are excited about Battletoads. And dude, Battletoads on the NES was so freaking hard to me. And I've tried to revisit it as an adult, and I'm like, dude, this game is like ungodly hard, and I don't know why. So, so I'm hoping that maybe this newer version of Battletoads is more of like just it looks to me like it's a brand new game. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm really super excited about it or not. Ralph, when is your next stream? Battletoads, maybe. Yeah. Is it out yet? I don't even know. Is it actually out? So let me see. There was a couple more. There was a How to Bachelor super chat. He said, Ralph, when is your next stream? Battletoads, maybe. I don't know, actually. This week is a really busy week for me, so I'm not really sure. And I'm sorry, guys. I can't really schedule live streams. I have to kind of do them. I try to do them if I'm doing them during the day, like around the same time. But it's just really hard with work right now. The one cool thing is that because I'm working from home, I can kind of, if I find a gap and I have a topic I want to talk about or something, I'm going to do that. One thing that I'm really trying to do. Oh, Wicked Gamer and Collector's in there. Hey, bud. Thanks so much for joining. I hopefully you and I can get together sometime over the next couple days and talk. It's been tough for him and I to connect. So he's in the Netherlands. So it's really cool. I never told this story, I don't think. So when I was thinking about doing YouTube, I remember watching Wicked Gamer and Collector, and he did a lot of things I was interested in. So I used to buy literally every Pandora's box, and it wasn't out of like, these are awesome. It was out of this, like, I'm so enamored, or I don't know, when maybe enamored isn't the right word. I'm so intrigued by these products that China makes. And I know they're not legit at all, right? Like there's 0.0 legitimacy to the products. Most of them have a bunch of ROMs on them, and they're on like a single board computer thing that they have, or just a single, not a single board computer, but it's like just a single, like, I don't know. It's like a single board, whatever. I'm looking for a different word, but it's not coming to me. So it's like a main board. It's like a single main board. And it's funny because him and I laugh because they're always messing it up. Like they'll do something and you're like, oh, that looks promising. They made that a little better. And the next version, they fix something and break like 10 more things. You're like, dude, but it's by design, I feel like. They really don't care. They just want money, and they know people will keep buying the new versions. So they just don't care. Like I literally think they don't care. They're like, look, people are buying them. We don't care. So I just don't think they care. But I bought so many of them. I mean, I have a stack of these things because I just find them interesting. It's not that they're not even my main form of gameplay at all, ever. It's just fun to check them out. Michael B says, how many Soulja Boy consoles did you buy that? So I didn't buy his so the Soulja Boy consoles were just rebranded like versions of those same products, which was kind of funny. So all those Soulja Boy things, I have them all, but I don't have them as Soulja Boy. It was like whatever they were at the time. It was like, I can't remember. They're like RG something, like retro game, whatever. And then they'd be under a different name, like as Wicked would say, Pow Kitty. So yeah, they're weird names like Pow Kitty and I'm trying to think of some of the other dumb names they come up with. Bang Good is one of the companies that sells that kind of stuff. So I'm not really covering that stuff anymore on the channel for obvious reasons. But we at 30 minutes? Oh crap! All right, I got a little bit of time. My son has to get up at 7:45, and I got to make sure his Pow Kitty. I got to make sure he's ready for school. So yeah, so that I'm excited about. I'm excited about the Sinden light gun, Sidon, whatever. I always say it wrong. I don't know how I could say it wrong. And then How to Bachelor had a good question. He said, my thoughts on limited run games. So I'm such a sucker for all the limited run game stuff. As a matter of fact, I still have not got. Has anybody here that ordered their Streets of Rage 4 got their kit? I didn't get it yet. And I was like, dude, it's taking forever. And that's the thing about them is they get you super hyped and excited. But if they're doing a release that coincides with an actual release, you'd never get it at the release date. It's always way down the road. I like limited run games, but I think sometimes it's like it's like you're kind of you're creating this idea of not scarcity. Is scarcity a word? Where like you have limited resources and really you don't. They're in control of the resources. So it's like they could continue to, I guess it wouldn't be limited run anymore, but I do like some of their stuff they do. I especially like their collector's edition things, but I'm such a sucker for it because more times than not, they just sit on my shelf. Like I don't actually, I don't always play them because I or have a digital copy of it or something, or then I end up buying a physical copy of the launch, a digital copy, and the limited run copy. So I end up spending all this money. So it kind of seems like a sham in a way. It's like, it kind of sucks, It kind of bums me out in a way because I'm like, dude, I'm a sucker. Like I'm falling right into the trap of like what they want us to do. But I do like them. They're cool, but it's a little bit of a sham. But it is what it is. I love it. So, all right, what are your thoughts on 4-player Golden Axe cabinet? From what I've gathered on Reddit, only Golden Axe Death Adder is 4 players. Yeah, I actually think that's accurate. I think they should offer 2 SKUs. I think they should have a 4, because a lot of these games, said this last night on One Up Weekly, a lot of these games, yeah, you end up with Chef Dave, you end up with like millions of copies of the same game. I think Michael B. the Game Genie said the same thing. He's like, I bought like 100 copies of the same game. I mean, hey, they're business wise, I guess it's working. So what do I think about the Golden Axe cabinet? Yeah, I wish they would come out with, even with the NBA Jam, it'd be cool if there would be ramifications to it if they did this with NBA Jam because it's an online game, and I think that would be really hard to do that with the ROMs. But a lot of these games had options on their original PCB boards, so the arcade boards themselves would have it would say, is this installed as a 2-player kit or a 4-player kit? And you could tell the board, yeah, it's a 2-player kit. So why that was important is it would still give you access to all 4 players if it was like a game like, let's say, TMNT. So if you guys have ever downloaded the TMNT, ROMs before, you'll see there's a 2-player and a 4-player. And if you download the 2-player, you're able to select all 4 players. If you download the 4-player, you're not allowed to, because the way that works is it's physically looking for, I'm player 1's controls plugged into player 1 on the board itself. So unless you have a player 2, then you're not going to play the player 2 turtle or 3 and 4. So if you remember, yeah. So anyways, we don't have to keep going on that, but yes, Arizona Arcade Heroes, I do need to start teaching soon. So I got to get that going. All right. I can't share the link in chat. Found a weird looking Sega console. Dude, let's talk about that. Send it in Skype and we'll check it out later on today. So Wicked, that's the other thing. So Wicked and I talk a lot about these bizarre things that we find. And so I had went and bought, there was a period of time where I went and bought like literally I was buying every At Games console, literally every one I could find at the time when they were making all those like bizarre consoles. I was buying like all of them. And there's one I have in particular that's like this big. It's like a little box. And the weird thing is I don't even know when it came out, but it was like it had composite out. So if you guys remember the different versions of like there's component video, which would be your red, blue, and green, and then you have your audio left and right, which would be your white and your red. And composite was just one audio and one video. So it was usually white and orange. So they would have that. The problem is a lot of new TVs, you can't hook those up. You'd need something like, I don't have one on the table. You need something like a Retro Tink or something to convert that into HDMI or something. But they're weird. Like you put batteries in them and they have, I can't remember the name of the software. It was always called Firecore. And the thing that was terrible about it is they were actually kind of intriguing to me, but the quality was really bad. And they admitted that after that, hey, we made a lot of crappy consoles. And if I have to say something, I do feel like I want to say something nice about, I always feel like if I say something mean, I have to say something nice at the same time. That they've come a long way. So like At Games emulation is way better now. Like actually it's pretty good now versus what it was before. Like they were using this crap Firecore. I think that's what it was called. I can't remember what they called it, but it was bad. I mean, the emulation was bad. All the Genesis audio was always messed up. Now Genesis audio in general is not easy to do because of that Yamaha chip, but it was just bad. I don't know what you mean by have my closet door open. Actually, that closet back there has no door. I took the door off of it because I couldn't fit as much stuff in there. All right, so Peter Giffen says, I want really bad to take out the circuit board of my Street Fighter sit down and put it inside my normal stand-up. But why would you want to put it in your stand-up? Because if you put it in your stand-up, it's going to display just like it does in your sit-down. You're going to have, there's no way to go into it, at least to my knowledge right now, and hack it. So what they have is, they're not using MAME, they use commercial emulation. So if you guys ever play with MAME, there's settings to set a game up for cocktail mode. And when you do, if it's like a game like Street Fighter, it's going to take Street Fighter and it's going to overlay, it's going to duplicate the display. So let's say Street Fighter's facing you. It's going to flip it for the other person on the other side. Because there's no way for you to go in and take it off of cocktail mode, there's nothing you can do about that. So it's not going to be worth your effort there. So yeah, I'm sorry, but there's nothing you could really do unless you could hang from your ceiling and someone could play it like upside down. There wouldn't be any way for you to do that. So sorry about that. So anyways, we saw a shadow in the closet. Something moved. What? Guys, don't mess with me like that. That's weird, all right? I know, Peter, dude. I know what you mean. It's got that board is a really good collection of that cocktail cabinet actually has a really good collection of games. Now you could always, not that I'm condoning this behavior, but you could build that yourself really easily if you wanted to. But anyways, it's all over the internet. You can look it up, but this is for educational. I learned that I could just say it's for educational purposes only, and that makes it all better, I guess. It's future Ralph. Nice. All right. He wants to play the extra games in a stand-up cab. Wait until the anniversary edition that will come out before Mortal Kombat and kill Zohar's spirit. So those of you guys that don't, I swear everyone that watches the show must know Zohar, but he loves Mortal Kombat. I mean, more than anything, it's the first one in particular that he loves, and he literally went out of his way to make this image of all the Pac-Man cabinets that Arcade 1-Ups ever come out with, and then he just put the one Mortal Kombat cabinet and he put it in the Mortal Kombat group on Facebook, and he's like, so I see a bias here. You guys only make Pac-Man cabinets. Now, my opinion on that is that, dude, it's a company and they want to make money, and Pac-Man is like, I think in the top 5 grossing, it could even be in the top 3, I can't remember, but it's like in the top 5 grossing arcade games of all time, and it transcends generations. Unfortunately, you may dislike Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man or find them boring, but it does, like, it transcends generations. It's so iconic, and people they'll buy it. Like, it pulls on the heartstrings hard, and they'll buy it. Now, I'm sure if Arcade 1-Up or any other company for that matter decide to make like a 3/4 scale Mortal Kombat like limited edition with the best controls, had like IL sticks and cherry micro switches, I mean, people would probably buy the crap out of it. And if made it, oh man, the coffee's making me a little gassy, made it look like a replica of the original, it would look awesome. So I want to tell you guys one story. This is how I'm going to close it up. I was struggling if I wanted to tell this story, only because it's super awkward, and I don't know how to tell it without it being a little gross. Like, it's kind of gross, but I've never heard anything like this in my whole entire life. And so I was so taken back by the story. It's really disgusting that I was like, I have to tell this story. Like, I can't not tell the story because it's so weird and so bizarre. And if any of you guys have ever heard this before in your life, then I don't even know. But so I'm going to try to tell it in a way that isn't so crude, because it's kind of disgusting, and it does have to do with poop. Okay, so Kim obviously works in the medical field, right? And this isn't about a patient, because she's not allowed to talk about that because of HIPAA and all that stuff. So it wasn't about a patient, but it was a story of like through other people that she knows in the medical field, right? So it was pretty close. It wasn't like that many levels removed that the story's not true. Like, it's definitely a true story, but it's really weird. So what if I told you that, all right, I don't know how to say it, so I'm going to try to be, maybe, I know I'm taking forever to say it. It's just so gross. So what part of have you ever heard of someone going, man, I'm so frustrated because I'm having, bathroom problems where like, you have to go a lot, the D word, right? So you have to go a lot because, you maybe you have the runs or whatever because of something you ate or whatever. Have you ever heard of anybody in your whole life saying, yeah, I'm kind of annoyed by this, I'll say it. I'm kind of annoyed by this diarrhea I'm having. So I need to come up with a solution, right? I'm not going to let it run its course. I need to come up with a solution. And you've ever heard of someone deciding they're going to like plug themselves up to basically, because they were so annoyed by it that they just thought they'd like, put a plug up there to stop it from happening. Like, have you ever heard in your whole life someone saying, I'm going to plug my butt it's because I'm sick of having diarrhea? Have you ever in your whole life? Well, that actually happened for real. Someone did that. And what they used to plug it is even more disgusting, but I'm not telling you what it was. But dude, why? Why would you ever do that? So when she told me it, I was like, my jaw was like on the floor because I'm all, there's no way. That's not true. She's like, no, it's confirmed. Like, it's confirmed as much as NBA Jam is confirmed. And I'm not going to say what it was. I know that's really crude and kind of gross and very adolescent, but I was like, if there's one place I can share that, it's here. It wasn't a Thrustmaster joystick, and I promise you, it wasn't a Street Fighter 2 joystick or controller on a 3DO. But that's just nasty. So, anyways, I just don't know why someone would do that. And the problem is, it's someone in their 20s who's like not stupid. Like they're actually, Banggood makes a product for that. So Stringer Films, thanks for the super chat. So Banggood actually Banggood makes like retro gaming, or I don't know, they make a whole bunch of products, but they sell retro gaming stuff. Okay, I gotta go. What a crappy way to end the stream. Oh my gosh, you guys crack me up. I don't know. Hopefully that wasn't too crude. I know it's gross, but I don't care how old I am. I still laugh at potty stuff. So did I just say potty? Yeah. So anyways, I don't know what else to say. We're just going to leave it there. I mean, that is the crappiest way to end the stream. All right, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this. This is definitely more of a podcast format. I kind of just say whatever, we do whatever, and I think it's fun. So hopefully you guys continue to enjoy it. But I'm going to try to do it every single Monday at the same time. So next Monday, we'll have another one. In the chat below, or in the comments below, put topics that you want me to talk about on the next one, or we can just continue to do them live like this, where we just answer them as the questions come up. I'm cool with that too. That's super fun, and it gets more interactive. So thank you everyone for joining. I really appreciate it. On the way out, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it, and then turn on notifications so you can be informed of future updates. YouTube is really weird around notifications. A while back, it kind of like streamlined all the notifications so people wouldn't get it bugged as much. So a couple people have told me they're not getting notifications. So just make sure it's turned on for all content if you want to make sure you don't catch anything, or want to make sure you do catch something, not catch it. That makes no sense. All right. Anyways, guys, that's it for now, and we will see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Don't plug your butt. That's not a good call. So if you learned anything, if I had to do final thoughts, your butthole is an exit. Stuff is supposed to come out, stuff is not supposed to go in, and it's definitely not supposed to stay in. So just don't ever do that. So I need to put that as a disclaimer, because someone might only watch a minute of it and be like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I've had this stomach problem. I'm just gonna plug it. Don't do that. I'm not a medical doctor, but I can with 100% certainty tell you, don't put a cork in your butt. All right, guys. See you on the next one. Or, all right, never mind. I gotta stop. I mean, there's maybe certain scenarios where you can put something in your butt, but for a short period of time. But don't keep it there forever. All right, I gotta go. This is for educational purposes only. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Appreciate all the support.